Chapter 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In spite of social encounters, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get the people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Throughout Talleyrand's life, people said he was a superb conversationalist, yet he actually said very little. He never talked about his own ideas. He got others to reveal theirs. He would organize friendly games of charades for foreign diplomats, social gatherings where, however, he would carefully weigh their words, cajole confidences out of them, and gather information invaluable to his work as France's foreign minister. At the Congress of Versailles, he did his spying in other ways. He would blurt out what seemed to be a secret, actually something he had made up, then watch his listeners' reaction. He might tell a gathering of diplomats, for instance, that a reliable source had revealed to him that the Caesar of Russia was planning to arrest his top general for treason. By watching a diplomat's reaction to this made-up story, he would know which ones would most excited by the weakening of the Russian army. Perhaps their government had designed on Russia. As a Baron von Stetten said, Monsieur Talleyrand fires a pistol into the air to see who will jump out the window. During social gatherings and innocuous encounters, pay attention. This is when people's guards are down. By suppressing your own personality, you can make them reveal them things. The brilliance of this maneuver is that they will mistake your interest in them for friendship, so that you not only learn, you make allies. Nevertheless, you should practice the tactic with caution and care. If people begin to suspect you are warming secrets out of them under the cover of conversation, they will strictly avoid you. Emphasis friendly chatter, not valuable information. Your search for gems of information cannot be too obvious, or probing questions will reveal more about yourself and your intentions than the information you hope to find. A trick in spying comes from La Roche, who wrote sincerely, found in a very few men is often the cleverest of ruses. One is sincere in order to draw out the confidence and secrets of others by pretending to be bare your heart to another person. In other words, you can make more likely to reveal their own secrets. Give them a false confession, and they will give you a real one. Another trick was identified by the philosopher author Fauser, who suggested vehemently contradicting people in your conversation with a way of irritating them, stirring them up so that they lose some of the control over their words. In their emotional reaction, they will reveal all kinds of truths about themselves, truths you can later use against them. Another method of indirectly spying is to test people, to lay traps that make them reveal things about themselves. Charles II, a notoriously clever 17th century king of Persia, had many ways of seeing through his subjects without raising suspicion. If he noticed, for instance, that two of his consorts had become particularly friendly, he would call one of them aside and say he had information about the other one that was a traitor and would soon be killed. The king would tell the courtier that he trusted him more than anyone and that he must keep this information secret. Then would watch the two men carefully. If he saw that the second one had not changed his behavior toward the king, he would conclude that the first one had kept the secret. He would quickly promote the man, later taking him aside to confess, I meant to kill your friend because of certain information that had reached me, but when I investigated the matter, I found it was untrue. If, on the other hand, the second one started to avoid the king, acting aloof and tense, he would know that the secret had been revealed. He would ban the second one from the court, letting him know that the whole business had only been a test. But even though the man had done nothing wrong, he could no longer trust him. The first one, however, had revealed a secret, and he would ban him from his entire empire. Entire kingdom. It may seem an odd form of spying that reveals no empirical information, but a person's character often, however, is the best way of solving problems before they arise. By tempting people into certain actions, you learn about their loyalty, their honesty, and so on. And this kind of knowledge is often the most valuable of all. Armed with it, you can predict their actions in the future. The third eye of the spy. In the land of the two-eyed, the third eye gives you omniscience of God. You see further than others, and you see deeper into them. Nobody is saved from the eye of but you. Now, the reason a brilliant sovereign and a wise general conquers the enemy whenever they move, and their achievements surpass those of ordinary men, is their foreknowledge of the enemy situation. The foreknowledge cannot be elicited from spirits, nor from gods, nor by analogy with past events, nor by astrological calculations. It must be obtained from men who know the enemy situation from spies. Information is critical, but it's just as you spy on another people, you must be prepared for them to spy on you. One of the most potent weapons in the battle for information, then, is giving out false information. As Winston Churchill said, truth is precious that truth is so precious that she should always be attended by a bodyguard of lies. You must surround yourself with such a bodyguard so that your truth cannot be penetrated. By planning the information of your choice, you control the game. In 1944, the Nazi rocket bomb attack on London suddenly escalated. Over 2,000 V-1 flying bombs fell on the city, killing more than 5,000 people and wounding many more. Somehow, however, the Germans constantly missed their targets. Bombs that were intended for the Tower Bridge and Piccadilly would fall well short of the city, landing in less populated suburbs. This was because in fixing their targets, the Germans relied on secret agents that had planted in England. They did not know that these agents had been discovered, and in their place, English control agents were feeding them subtly deceptive information. The bombs would hit farther and farther from the targets every time they fell. By the end of the campaign, they were landing on cows in the country. By feeding people wrong information, then you gain a potent advantage. While spying gives you a third eye, disinformation puts your enemy's eyes. Puts out one of your enemy's eyes. A cyclops, he always misses his target.